University 6-4. Bottom of the third in the we talked about Purdue and Northern Illinois in the Big Ten part of the schedule. Western Michigan plays at Frank Eck Stadium in South Bend. No score, top of the fourth. Morehead State leading Ohio University 1-0, bottom of the third. And top of the third, Toledo at Youngstown State. The Penguins lead the Rockets 3-1. And that is a very extended out-of-town scoreboard. We do have some softball action going on. First game of a doubleheader in town at Sequia Stadium. Carson Cassidy picks up the win. Michigan State over Detroit Mercy 2-1. Faith Guidry with the save in that one. So a good start to a doubleheader at Sequia Field.
Well, you got to love these midweek games. The hitters certainly do, because you're going to get a chance to see some guys that maybe aren't weekend throwers, and you're going to get an opportunity to go out and hit the ball. And, of course, in this cold weather, some people would argue that it's advantage pitcher. I got to go with advantage hitter. I just think it's tough to get loose in weather like this, although it's a nice sky out there. It's a little chilly, a little bit of a breeze. And, of course, the Spartans are going to be using wooden bats, and so every time you hit one off the handle, you're going to feel a little bit of vibration. Scott, the MSU Spirit Squad's here. They're on top of the dugout, and, of course, a number of the members of the Spartan Marching Band are here. Yeah. I suppose they'll probably play the national anthem, and then look down behind home plate. Everybody's a friend tonight. There's Big Lug and Sparty, and they've been chumming around for the last hour. So good time to have a ball game and a good time to play a little bit of ball downtown Lansing.
Another thing that will feel a little different, at least to the Spartans, they're playing with minor league umpiring rules. So instead of an umpire at every base, there's just two. Oh, you got a home plate umpire and a bases umpire. They're familiar names. Corey Hinga is behind the plate, and Sean Howard, who just worked the weekend, the 3 games over the weekend at home against Illinois, he will be working the field. And after having been around minor league baseball for the first 7 years that the Lugnuts were in existence, working with 2 umpires, it takes a lot of concentration by the umpires as far as who's going where. You've got one guy, he'll be near first if the bases are empty, and the home plate umpire will cover third. It's just they have to move around quite a bit.
Well, and it's all about positioning. Now, I assume, Scott, we've got cameras here, so there could be appeals on plays. Is that right?
I didn't ask about that. There are cameras. They're not doing their regular minor league baseball presentation that they usually do, where the games are televised and you get Jesse Goldberg Strassler's call along with Adam Jacksa. But there are cameras available in the outfield. I'm sure there are stationary cameras. The question is, will they allow challenges and or umpire reviews? I just don't know where that is. I can try to find that out, and I will try to find that out.
Well, the Lugnut skipper Darrell Kennedy and Spartan skipper Jake Boss Jr. have completed their meeting at home plate along with the 2 umpires, and now we're just waiting for the national anthem, and once we get that, waiting for the first pitch and 7 innings of what I hope is a really good ball game.
Well, let's take a look at the batting orders. First, for the Lugnuts, Jim already told you, you've got Green and White in the top 2 positions. Center fielder Rodney Green batting first, and he'll be followed by third baseman Tommy White. In the 3-hole is the shortstop, Joshua Kuroda Grauer, that Jim had mentioned, the player of the year last year out of Rutgers. He is a rookie. In the cleanup spot, it's Jared Dickey. He is the designated hitter for the Lugnuts tonight. Batting 5th, playing in right field, is Nate Nankill. Batting 6th, the left fielder is Clark Elliott. In the 7th hole, first baseman T.J. Schofield Sam. Batting 8th and catching for the Lugnuts, C.J. Rodriguez. And batting 9th, playing at second base, is Sahid Valenzuela. And the starting pitcher is Junior Tur. The Spartans, not only are the pitchers coming from the Lugnuts, but the catcher is as well. So Michigan State actually has 10 men in their lineup here. Leading off and playing in center field is J.T. Sokolov. And then in the 2-hole is Cole Kahn, the catcher from the Lugnuts. Batting 3rd, Ryan McKay, the second baseman. In the 4-hole is Caleb Berry, who would normally be a catcher, but he's going to get to bat, even though he's not going to be playing behind the plate. Batting 5th is Sam Bush, the first baseman. In the 6th hole is designated hitter Will Shannon. Batting 7th, the shortstop, Randy Seymour. In the 8th hole is right fielder Parker Pico. Batting 9th in left field, Jake Dresselhaus. And batting 10th for the Spartans is Jacob Anderson. And again, he is the third baseman, the 10th batter. It's an odd situation, and because of all the strangeness, I didn't even start to put this game in my scorebook. I'm just they were nice enough to give us score sheets, and I'm just going to work off of those.
Well, I started to, and then all of a sudden you said to me, Jim, they gave you the score sheet. So I said, okay, I got you. You're the veteran. I'll follow that lead. Hey, Tommy White, interesting numbers. As a freshman at North Carolina State, he set an NCAA record with 27 home runs during his freshman season. And then he transferred to LSU and hit 24 home runs his second year, 24 his third year. And then, of course, last year, the 22-year-old was the 40th overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. So might be kind of fun to watch Tommy White tonight as he bats against one of his teammates here early in the game.
Well, the Lugnuts have taken the field, and the dugouts are emptying, so it will be time for our national anthem before too very long. And we will bring you the national anthem. National anthem here at Jackson Field, played by the members of the Spartan Marching Band who are in attendance here this evening. And now Junior Tur will begin his warm-up tosses. While he does that, let's take a look at our game day weather, thanks to Farm Bureau Insurance, Michigan's insurance company. Current temperature here in downtown Lansing, a brisk 43 degrees. The real feel is 41. Luckily, there is no precipitation in the forecast for the game hours. There is a chance of snow and rain overnight. And then tomorrow, as you heard, the Spartans game against Bowling Green has already been canceled and there has been no announcement, at least, regarding a potential makeup day for it. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. So cool temperatures. The wind out of the east-southeast at 7 miles per hour seemed a little bit more than that during the national anthem as the flag was fluttering pretty well. It says max wind gusts at 9 miles per hour. And out of the east-southeast is kind of blowing right across the infield. So the right-handed hitters might get a little extra oomph as they reach for the fence in left field.
You know, Scott, some of our listeners might say, hey, tomorrow's game's already canceled. What's up? But, of course, Bowling Green would have had to leave very early tomorrow to get here and get their batting practice in infield. And, of course, they are looking at the weather. It's supposed to be warm, almost balmy tomorrow, but something like a 95% chance of rain. So
we are underway, and the first pitch from Junior Tour to JT Sokolov is in for a strike. This could be a little bit eye-opening for the Spartan hitters. There's a ground ball on 3 hops to the second baseman. Throw across the infield is in time. And JT Sokolov goes down 4-3 to start the game.
I was really hoping that Sokolov would get on and try out that arm with the catcher because we know that JT's got some wheels on him.
And now we've got a Lugnut at the plate. This is Cole Kahn. He is serving as the catcher, and his teammate, Junior Tour, just brushed him back a little bit. And there's some grinning going on out there. That may have been planned.
Yeah, I hope they're not roommates.
Comes back a little bit inside. So 2 balls and no strikes now to Cole Kahn.
And, of course, these guys are all on a short leash tonight. The starting –
there's a shot down the right field line, and that's a fair ball into the corner. Cole Kahn all the way around to second base with a stand-up double. It's an odd sight here in that everybody on the field is wearing the same uniform right now, even the runner at second.
Well, he's got bragging rights now. For the rest of the season, he's got bragging rights.
That was a very nicely placed ball, about a foot inside the foul stripe, down near the pole in right field.
Well, as I was mentioning, Judkins is going to be on a tight, short leash. They're going to let him throw 3 innings or 45 pitches, whatever comes first. So they've got this one pretty well scripted out.
First pitch to Ryan McKay is a strike over the outer portion of the plate. McKay might be looking at that 337 in right field. He's got some good pop in the bat. He took one deep at Jeff Ishbia Field, McLean Baseball Stadium over the weekend.
Well, he's leading the Spartans with a 364 average, so he's got a nice alley out in right center as well. If he could get that, he could run forever.
There's a ground ball to the right side. The second baseman makes the stab, and the throw to first is in time for the second out of the inning. 2 down, runner at third as Cole Kahn advanced. And now Caleb Berry will step to the plate. Just blocks away from where he went to school before he came to Michigan State. Not necessarily where he played his baseball, but transferred to Michigan State from Lansing Community College. First pitch missed, and the second one does as well, a little high and tight.
Well, you know, it kind of feels funny. I'm not tracking pitches tonight, so all of a sudden I feel like I got all this extra time.
2-0 pitch on the way, and it's fouled back to the screen.
What would we say? The Sparnuts are struggling or are threatening here? Or what would we say?
Sparnuts?
Sparnuts.
Sparnuts, yeah, okay, all right. I can go for that.
And the Lugtons.
There's a strike at the knees on Caleb Berry. I'm just trying to watch all the bats out there to see if anybody has loaned a Spartan a torpedo bat.
You New York Yankee fans out there are loving it, huh?
2-2 pitch, fouled off at the plate.
They were supposed to investigate that a bit today. Major League Baseball was going to talk about it, and everything points to the fact that they're legal. But,
I was reading up on them last night.
Yeah.
Whether you call them torpedo bats or bowling pin bats.
Ooh.
There's a shot into short center field, mishandled by the center fielder, and that'll bring in a run for the Sparnuts.
Well, I tell you what, interesting there. A little bit of a misjudge. Rodney Green came in, and then he hesitated, and then it caught him right on the heel of the glove and popped out, and the Spartans are on the board. No RBI on that.
And Green was playing incredibly shallow. He was in a great position to make the catch, but he got crossed up somehow. Still, I do see an error up on the board.
Yeah, and it looks, I don't know. It's hard to tell from here. I got to get the binoculars on him. That looks like a new glove. It may not be broken in quite as much as he'd like it to be yet. Could still be a little stiff.
Sam Bush at the plate. He'll single into right field. Just past the diving second baseman for the Lugnuts, Zahid Valenzuela. So now there's some different looking uniforms on the field, but that is going to be it for the inning. And this is the confusing part of the rules that we have here. They've reached a pitch count or whatever, and so the inning ends with the Spartans 1 run in and 2 runners left on base. So we will go to our middle of the first break with a 1-0 lead for Michigan State on the Spartan Media Network.
I love getting out and trying new things. But my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
This year, make your time outdoors unforgettable with Bee Sports. Whether you're casting a line in a Lund fishing boat, cruising with friends on a new pontoon, or tackling tough jobs with top-of-line outdoor power equipment, Bee Sports has everything you need. From Lund fishing boats to Crest and Berkshire pontoons, we've got the perfect ride for your water adventures. And when it's time to power through the yard, we've got the best lawnmowers, trimmers, and chainsaws to keep your outdoor space looking its best. For over 65 years, Bee Sports has been the beginning of fun.
Welcome back. We're all just kind of trying to wrap our heads around the way that the bottom of the first inning ended, and Rodney Green swings at the first pitch. It'll hit off the base of the fence in center field. Sokolov quickly gets it back into the infield and will hold Rodney Green to a double.
I'll tell you what, J.P. Sokolov played that ball like a professional player. He went back to the wall, realized he wasn't going to be able to get it as it bounced high off the right center field fence, waited for it to bounce out, retrieved it, got it into Ryan McKay quickly at second base, held the runner at second. But I think our center fielder might have just said, hey, I made up for my drop fly ball.
Yeah. Again, it was Rodney Green who got the lone error there in the first inning. So that run scored by a Lugnut playing for the Spartans. Ground ball to second base. Seymour fields, and then the throw handcuffed the first baseman, Bush, advancing down to second and being tagged out at second base is Tommy White.
I'm not sure what Tommy was thinking.
Well, the Spartans got a very fortuitous bounce on that one. The ball didn't go into the dugout, and that may have been what Tommy White was thinking, was that since it got past the first baseman, he was all the way down to second base. He was not hustling, and Sam Bush was. When it bounced right straight back to him, he threw down to Ryan McKay for the putout.
Well, that's Sammy's second heads-up play of the game. Made the play on defense. And, of course, his single last inning has continued his torrid hitting pace that he started out on this season. A .321 hitter leading the Spartans with 8 home runs and 32 RBIs. So Sam Bush having a whale of a season. Want to see that continue throughout the Big Ten season.
So White reached on the throwing error by the shortstop. Green advanced to third, and they haven't posted the out portion of it. But I believe that, and there's a strikeout on Joshua Kuroda-Grauer.
I think it went 3-6. I'm not sure.
Well, it was the shortstop. Randy Seymour had the initial field on it, threw it, and it handcuffed Sam Bush at first, bounced back to him. So I would say that that's a 6-3-4 double play, or 6-3-4 put up.
Yeah. Well, this kid's gassing it. He's got some radar gun is not on, but he's throwing some balls hard right now.
Pitcher is Grant Judkins, familiar name to Big Ten baseball fans. Played his college ball at Iowa. Big swing and a miss for Jared Dickey. He's the designated hitter, and he's now down in the count, 1-2. Two down, runner at third, and the pitch over the plate but high.
Aha! I have spotted the radar gun.
You have?
It is out in right field right next to the Spartans logo.
Okay.
Right
there
next
we
to
go.
left cue.
I see it. 2-2 pitch. A little bit down and in. Full count now. And again, this is the odd part of this setup, is that Grant Judkins, right-hander for the Lugnuts, is pitching to Jared Dickey, left-hander for the Lugnuts. And he gets him into a swing and a miss as he just climbed the ladder on him. A couple of strikeouts, a double, but no run score in the bottom of the first inning. So we'll go to the top of the second, and the Spartans are in the lead, 1-0. We're on the Spartan Media Network.
When you're a foster parent, you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader.
Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster parent. See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Just like your favorite sports team, you need a solid defense to protect your home and business. Whether you're tackling unexpected accidents, fouls, or fumbles, the Al Bordeaux Insurance Agency and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance are on your team. Visit the Al Bordeaux Insurance Agency today at albordeaux.com. That's ALBOURDEAU.com.
Top of the second, kind of, in downtown Lansing. This is where I kind of wish that what would happen is when they pull the plug on an inning, that they would start the top of the next inning where the previous inning ended.
Yeah,
The Spartans would have runners at first and second with nobody out now. But that's not the rules we're playing under. For Michigan State, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. Will Shannon, the DH, to lead the way, followed by Randy Seymour and Parker Pico. Junior Turr back on the mound for his second inning of work. And the first pitch is a strike at the knees to Will Shannon.
96-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees, as you said, Scott.
Turr works very quickly. He is a Cuban import. Played 3 years in the Cuban League before coming here as a member of the Oakland A's.
My guess is this is probably as cool a weather as he's thrown in.
That could be.
Because this is his first year here in the U.S. in the minor leagues. That fastball, 99 miles an hour.
Pitch fouled off as Will Shannon able to get some of the bat on it. And it is amazing the difference in the sound.
Yeah. I love that sound.
I think the guys do too. The 1-2 pitch. Jammed him inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And, of course, what Scott's referring to is a baseball coming off a wooden bat, of course.
We were talking about the torpedo bats. Pitch misses outside to fill up the count, 3-2. I did a bit of reading on them last night, and the philosophy is sound.
Mm-hmm.
At the thickest part of the barrel, it is a regulation diameter. It's just that they've taken that from the end of the bat and moved it up into the sweet spot instead of it being at the end of the bat. It's a great concept. And my next question, as Will Shannon works a walk here, is how long before the companies that make the metal bats for college baseball start building their bats in that same configuration?
Well, my understanding is it's all based on analytics also.
Yeah.
Each individual hitter, they review where they make contact and, of course, design the bats accordingly. So it's a pretty interesting concept. I think it's an Ivy League prompted I don't know if it was Princeton that I read that did the research in their science department, but leave it to the Yankees.
I heard that it was actually a professor who was working at the University of Michigan.
Oh, really?
And wound up as part of the Yankees administration.
Okay.
And now the fruits of his labor are coming to pass, and he's no longer with the Yankees. He has moved on to a different major league organization. Here's a high fly ball into short left center. That'll be hauled in by the center fielder, Rodney Green. And there's one away here as Will Shannon stays put at first.
Crowd awful excited about that one, but it is a mighty big field out there.
Yeah.
The dimensions around this field, 330 down the left field line, 337 down the right field line. It does come in just a little bit by the foul pole, and 407 in center field.
At 407 in basically right center field, the deepest part of this ballpark. Pitch misses in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. He'll throw down to second base, but Will Shannon is there on the wild pitch.
Really a head-up play by Will. That ball did not scoot away a long way, and I think the catcher kind of thought perhaps he wouldn't have to go after it. You know, Will's a big boy, but he moves well around the bases.
1-0 count on Parker Pico. And Turr comes back with a strike. Our understanding is that Junior Turr is slated for 3 innings or 45 pitches, whichever comes first. He spent quite a few pitches in that first inning. Again, total pitch count is not part of our stat program here tonight. So we don't know where he is. But if they want to stretch him into a third inning, this inning might have to end early as well. Pitch inside to Parker Pico makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So Will Shannon, who's out at second base right now, is the Spartans' second leading hitter with a .341 batting average. So, as I mentioned, a big boy, but gets around the bases really well.
The 2-2 misses away, gets away from the catcher and all the way to the wall, and that'll send Shannon to third base. A lot more territory behind home plate here at Jackson Field than there is at Jeff Ishbia Field and McLean Baseball Stadium.
Yeah, Will Shannon's getting his sprints in, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Full count now on Parker Pico. And a big swing and a miss. And as predicted, that is going to end the inning. Parker Pico with a strikeout for the second out of the inning. But again, the Lugnut pitchers are on their pitch counts, and so that will do it for the top of the second inning. No runs come in, 1 walk, and that walk to Will Shannon. He wound up at third base on a couple of wild pitches. We go to the bottom of the second. Michigan State still leading the Lugnuts 1-0 on the Spartan Media Network.
Skill is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Planning an event? Let One North Kitchen and Bar take care of everything. With multiple private rooms, we're the perfect spot for bridal and baby showers, retirement parties, team celebrations, and more. Great food, a great atmosphere, and a team ready to make your event seamless. Book your private event today. Go to onenorthdining.com to book your event at One North East Lansing, West Lansing, or Jackson. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great.
Welcome back to Jackson Field as we go to the bottom of the second inning, and we just had a little Donnybrook going on down on the sideline. They had their oversized boxing, and the fan in the Spartan hoodie, he was packing a wallop there.
I tell you what, he was really winding up, and he was plugging that fella, his opponent. I was afraid he was going to go down, and I think the crowd took a little bit of mercy on the red gloves and gave him the win with the fan applause. So who knows? Little everything in minor league baseball.
Our broadcast today connecting through our Martin Commercial Properties Spartan Network studios in East Lansing. Martin Commercial Properties, your vision is their mission. For the Lugnuts, it's 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. Nate Nankill, followed by Clark Elliott and T.J. Schofield Sam. And we already have the first out of the inning.
Fly ball down to right field, and Parker Pico did a nice job picking that ball up. There's not a lot of room when you get into foul territory along the right field line here at Jackson Field, but Parker did a nice job chasing it down and one away here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, when I saw that go off the bat, I figured it was a foul ball into the stands. So good job by Pico of tracking it and getting there. At the plate now, Clark Elliott, the left fielder. Left-handed hitter. And he's got a quick 2-strike count as Grant Judkins is going to work. And there's a 3-pitch strikeout of Clark Elliott. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second.
Well, this Hawkeye is representing Iowa City pretty well right now in his first 2 innings. Well, Scott, this is the 29th season for the Lansing Lugnuts. Hardly seems possible, does it?
You know, it just makes me feel really old because I was here for the first game back in 1996 and hung around for about 7 years.
Now, was Fort Wayne in the Midwest League at that time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was they weren't the Tin Caps back then. They were I can't remember what their team name was.
Well, at any rate, that's where the Lugnuts open on Friday night. It's down in Fort Wayne, I believe.
There's a flare into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. The ball just doesn't seem to be carrying real well.
No, and JT was playing pretty deep out there, and that was just like you said, blooped in for a hit, but that'll go down in the scorebook as a screamer in center field.
I'm just having a real hard time with this whole idea of not remembering what the Fort Wayne Wizards. They were the Fort Wayne Wizards back then.
There you go.
And they played at the War Memorial Stadium, which was right next to the War Memorial Arena. And that could be where Purdue Fort Wayne is playing their games now. No, they took that stadium down. I remember driving past the site.
Well, Scott, that's not like recent history. We're talking 29 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. My memory of that ballpark, they had high-tension electrical wires that were right next to the ballpark, and the press box had linoleum floors, and I was wearing little earbuds that went into your ear and had a band across the top when I was calling the games, and I would get shocks inside my ears.
Oh, my goodness. Yikes.
And I swear it was from the electrical wires that were so close to the ballpark.
A little static electricity hanging in the air, huh?
Watched Jose Cueto strike out 13 in that ballpark. 2-3 the count on C.J. Rodriguez, and a swing and a miss will end the half inning for the Lugnuts. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the third out of 7 tonight. It's 1-0 Spartans in the lead on the Spartan Media Network.
Martin is more than just a commercial real estate firm. They're a trusted partner, no matter the size, scope, or location. Martin makes it happen by leveraging their knowledge, resources, and influence to generate wins for their clients and community. Martin, your vision is our mission.
Stay in the game with Q-Collar, the world's first and only equipment proven to help protect the brain. It's backed by advanced research, built for the modern athlete, and designed to protect your most important asset, your brain. Q-Collar is a proud partner of the Michigan State Spartans. When it's on, it's on. Learn more and collar up at Q30.com.
Martin is more than just a commercial real estate firm. They're a trusted partner, no matter the size, scope, or location. Martin makes it happen by leveraging their knowledge, resources, and influence to generate wins for their clients and community. Martin, your vision is our mission.
Take me out to the ball game.
Welcome back to the ballpark, downtown Lansing, Jackson Field. Michigan State up 1-0. On the Lansing Lugnuts. The lone run, though, scored by a Lugnut. Their catcher, Cole Kahn, came in because Caleb Berry reached on an error back in the first inning. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship, it's a game changer. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. Jake Dresselhaus, followed by Jacob Anderson, and back to the top for JT Sokolov. Again, because of the fact that the Lugnuts are providing all of the pitchers and all of the catchers, there are officially 10 batters in the Spartan batting order. And the first pitch is swung on and missed by Dresselhaus. Junior getting the start in left field.
I don't know if you've noticed on your score sheet, they're not going to give us any place to put the 10th hitter. We've got the 10th hitter listed, but we can't put what he's done.
Well, we may have to get a little creative.
I think
there's another strike called.
It's just kind of a creative game to begin with.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's a great night downtown. And you mentioned it. This is the final spring training game for the Lugnuts. They open up Midwest League action on Friday. Big swing. And Dresselhaus might have thought he'd caught a piece of that.
I thought he did too, but
the catcher
held
thought
on.
he did too, because he double pumped before he threw down to third base. And the call from Corey Hinga was far from audible. But it's a strikeout rung up by Junior Tur. And the first pitch to Jacob Anderson is fouled back into the stands. Not only is it a tune-up for the Lugnuts, it's a tune-up for the staff here at Jackson Field, the game day staff for the Lugnuts. A little nubber down the third base line. It'll be picked up in foul territory. And Anderson will come back to the plate.
That would have played nicely had that ball just stayed a little bit more fair. Nice crowd here tonight.
It really is.
I'm going to bet maybe 1,900 folks.
I think you could be right.
There's Zeke the Wonder Dog.
Well, he's a folk.
Yeah, we'll take it.
He counts. 0-2 is the count, speaking of counts, to Jacob Anderson. He checks his swing. They'll appeal to first base. Sean Howard says, nope, didn't go through. So, here's the umpire alignment situation. Sean Howard right on the line at first base because the bases are empty.
Yes.
He'll swing and fouled into the catcher's mitt. Strikeout on Jacob Anderson for the second out of the inning, and now JT Sokolov will come back. Interesting routine that Sokolov has as he approaches the plate. Kind of a little skip into the batter's box. Wipes a line with his right foot from the back line to the front line of the batter's box, a swing and a miss, and then jumps back out and then jumps back in.
He approaches the plate like he approaches the game. He's a little bit of a spark plug.
Uh-huh.
And, as JT goes, often is the same way the Spartans go. When he gets on base, things happen.
Called strike, takes the count to 0-2. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the third, Michigan State leading 1-0.
Are you going to be a hard time if I tell you this game's moving right along?
You bet I am. You bet I am.
I just put on the jinx, didn't I?
I would love to get home and have dinner with my wife at some point. No, I think this game is going to go fast because of the pitch counts on the pitchers. Swing and a miss. Sokolov goes down on strikes, and that'll be the end of the outing for Junior Tur. He finishes it up in fine fashion with 4 consecutive strikeouts, 3 here in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, Michigan State leading 1-0. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Just like your favorite sports team, you need a solid defense to protect your home and business. Whether you're tackling unexpected accidents, fouls, or fumbles, the Lake Michigan Insurance Agency and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance are on your team. Visit the Lake Michigan Insurance Agency today at lmcu.org/insurance.com. That's lmcu.org/insurance.
I love getting out and trying new things. But my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Scott Moore and Jim Cotter with you from Jackson Field in downtown Lansing. It's the Crosstown Showdown, Michigan State and the Lugnuts going into the bottom of the third inning. The Spartans in the lead, 1-0. 9-1-2 in the order for the Lugnuts here. Sahid Valenzuela, then back to the top of the order for Rodney Green and Tommy White. The first pitch from Grant Judkins is a strike. Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for your entire community. You help support food rescue programs and the Simply Give initiative. Learn more at Meijer.com. Second offering from Judson, high and outside.
Junior Tur finished with a flurry, didn't he? If this were a prize fight, he would have probably won with a knockout in those last three strikeouts to end the top of the third inning. He was spot on. 3 strikeouts in the third, and he struck out the last batter of the second as well, so 4 in a row.
Yeah. 2-1 the count now on Valenzuela. Where's number 1? Just like the Spartan second baseman wears number 1. Well, there is a swing and a full count now.
Of course, for the Spartans, this is a great experience because they're playing against guys that are 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. They've got a lot of experience. That ball going to go foul? Yes, it is.
Yep, a foul down the first base line. The catcher got out from behind the plate to track it down the first base line. That catcher is Cole Kahn. Played for Lansing last season, but this is his first Crosstown Showdown. And there is a pitch inside from Judkins, and that'll be a leadoff walk here for the Lugnuts in the third inning. The number 9 hitter reaches. You talk about the ages. Sahid Valenzuela, 27 years old.
Yeah, that's Judkins' first walk, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah.
Against 4 strikeouts.
And he comes back with a first pitch strike to Rodney Green, who doubled to the base of the wall in right center field his first time around. Toss over to first. And these are some of the things that I was talking with Jesse Goldberg-Strassler about before the game. Okay, the Lugnuts at the plate, but Grant Judkins and Cole Kahn are the battery facing their own teammates. And Jesse says he thinks there's enough competition here that they're going to want to try to get this guy stealing if he goes. They're going to want to try to pick him off of first base. There's a high foul pop that gets 4 rows deep into the stands down the third base line.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of Bull Durham when Kevin Costner's a catcher. and he tells the hitter what to expect. And Cat hits a home run, and he goes out to the mound, and the pitcher says to me, he says, "Hey, he almost looked like he knew it was coming." He said, "He did. I told him."
Because the pitcher was shaking him off.
That's right. And, of course, then the hitter tried to kind of showboat a little bit. And I remember the Cosner character saying, "Get running, you dummy. You didn't earn that."
Swing and a miss. The runner at first, Valenzuela, started, but then put the brakes on right away. And there's one away as Rodney Green strikes out. My favorite part of that whole exchange is when Kevin Costner tells the batter and says, "And when you speak of me, speak well."
Yes, that's right. There were some great lines in that.
I have used that line personally a few times.
Yes.
First pitch to Tommy White as we go from green to white on this Crosstown Showdown is a ball outside. Judkin's supposed to just go 3 innings and around 45 pitches as well. Comes back with a strike.
With his 5 strikeouts, he's thrown a lot of pitches.
And again, situation, if he gets to pitch number 45, it's the end of the inning.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on, regardless of how many outs there are.
Well, we got somebody warming up down there in the Lugnuts bullpen, so he'll start the next inning.
I think most likely, we're going to have 2 new pitchers out there.
Yes, you're right.
For the 4th.
And, of course, the second pitcher will warm up once the next inning begins.
A little excuse me, grounder to short, over to second for 1. Relay to first is in time. 6-4-3, the put out on Tommy White and Zahid Valenzuela. We are through 3, going to 4, almost to the midway point of this exhibition game. And the Spartans lead it 1-0. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Stay in the game with Q-Collar, the world's first and only equipment proven to help protect the brain. It's backed by advanced research, built for the modern athlete, and designed to protect your most important asset, your brain. Q-Collar is a proud partner of the Michigan State Spartans. When it's on, it's on. Learn more and collar up at Q30.com.
This year, make your time outdoors unforgettable with B Sports. Whether you're casting a line in a Lund fishing boat, cruising with friends on a new pontoon, or tackling tough jobs with top-of-line outdoor power equipment, B Sports has everything you need. From Lund fishing boats to Crest and Berkshire pontoons, we've got the perfect ride for your water adventures. And when it's time to power through the yard, we've got the best lawnmowers, trimmers, and chainsaws to keep your outdoor space looking its best. For over 65 years, B Sports has been the beginning of fun.
Welcome back to Jackson Field as we go to the top of the 4th inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Lugnuts. We will have a new pitcher on the hill for the Spartans in the bottom of the inning. And we believe this is Kyle Robinson. A little bit of confusion. It's early in the season. This is the shakedown cruise for everyone. And the pitcher on the mound is wearing number 29. And in our program, we just got clarification on it. It is indeed Kyle Robinson on the mound. He's a right-hander from Amory, Mississippi. Went to college at Texas Tech. And obviously there are no real numbers on him because they haven't played a game that counts in the Midwest League yet. First pitch swinging into right field, and it's caught in right field. So that is Joshua Kuroda Grauer out of Rutgers. who goes down with a fly ball to right field.
That's appropriate that he's spending a little time with his Big Ten brethren over there in the dugout.
And a swing and a miss. See, now this whole thing has me all kinds of weirded out. That was Cole Kahn that flew out to right field.
Yes.
And now Ryan McKay is at the plate, and he quickly has an 0-2 count. Pitch misses upstairs. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is ready to help with physical health, mental health, and everything in between. Learn more at bcbsm.com.
Ooh.
There's a shot down the right field line, but just foul.
Ryan with a bid for extra bases on that one. You know, Scott, interesting as we look at the Lugnuts roster. 16 pitchers, 3 catchers, 6 infielders, and 5 outfielders. Gives you a little bit of idea of who they're trying to develop in the minor league systems, doesn't it?
Well, and that is pretty much standard for A ball, at least. You do carry a lot of pitchers, and you don't carry a whole lot of infielders. The difference between a college team and this is that the organization can move players around whenever they need to.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon for a player to show up for a game or so and then go back from whence they came. Usually with the Lugnuts now being a part of the A's organization, it's I believe their low A is Stockton in California, the Stockton Ports. And so they might make a 3-time zone trip, play a couple of games, and then go right back. Ground ball to third base off of the bat of Caleb Berry. The throw is high, and Berry will reach. I would imagine that'll be an E5.
It will indeed be, and it's the second time that Caleb has been on by virtue of an error.
Yeah.
And a nice heads-up play. He did not try to stretch it to second base, realizing that the rebound off that wall, that very concrete wall behind first base, was not going to allow him to advance.
So 2 down and a runner at first. And now Sam Bush at the plate. Sam hit the ball well back in the first inning. Singled into right field.
That 337 down the right field line is certainly reachable by a guy like Sam Bush.
And he's going to send one high and foul. This one makes it halfway deep in the seats down the right field line and turns into a souvenir.
Fans were kind of running after that one. I think that kid was from Pewamo that just picked that ball up.
If I'm wrong. Oh, he looked like a Pewamian.
Yeah. Oh, that would be Pewamoite.
Okay, Pewamoite. Okay. Easy for you to say. 1-1 count on Sam Bush. The big lefty swings and misses, and that is going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. Nothing across, no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and that means we are halfway through tonight's exhibition game. Come on back for the bottom of the 4th inning in just a moment on the Spartan Media Network.
Skill is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
When you're a foster parent, you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader. Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster parent. See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human
And the starting pitcher for the Lugnuts, or one of the two starting pitchers, the starting pitcher for the bottom of the inning, Grant Judkins, is now done for the day. He is replaced by Tom Reisinger in his first Midwest League season out of East Stroudsburg University. A Division III guy, I think, is what I had heard. And they really don't know what to expect out of him. We're going to find out.
Well, you know, the pitchers have dominated. No doubt about it. There's 2 hits apiece for both the Spartans and the Lugnuts, but 11 strikeouts to this point in the ballgame. So it's been a pitcher's game thus far.
The fastball, that one misses upstairs. If I remember correctly, Jesse was telling me before the game that this guy Reisinger is pretty much a fastball changeup.
Yeah.
And that's 3 straight fastballs. This one for a strike at the knees on Joshua Kuroda-Grauer. Now I'm in the right place.
Well, and you're going to have to develop a third pitch, and that's why he's here at high A right now, trying to do just that as he threw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right on the outside part of the plate. Did not get it, and it's now 3 balls, 1 strike.
And here's the 3-1 delivery. Got him on the fists and pops it up at home plate. And Cole Kahn did a great job at tracking that one down. Makes the catch, and there's 1 away.
You know, I just don't feel like I'm working hard enough here tonight. I mean, I'm not tracking pitches. I'm not keeping, you're keeping a book, but you're not really keeping a book. You don't have a lot of stats to quote on either team right now.
No.
And to top it all out, you got 11 strikeouts and 4 hits. So I'm
going to take it out of your pay.
I think you should. I'm going to turn it back in.
Well, and you got Lugnuts pitching to Lugnuts. I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy world. Cats living with dogs. I don't get it.
Well, and we are right above the hot dog stand, and I can smell those onions and those peppers and those hot dogs, and it's killing me.
I would not blame you if you just suddenly stood up and went down and came back. You have to bring 2, though.
I've been waiting for the hot dog cannon, but I have not seen it yet. Maybe too early in the season, huh?
I think that the trip around the infield and the act of shooting them into the stands, it would not be hot dogs any longer. 3-1 the count now on Jared Dickey. And Jared takes 3 steps down the first base line, only to hear Corey Hinga call strike 2.
Jared, I want to give you a little bit of advice, brother. You better be swinging.
Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, bases empty. And he was swinging, and he fouls it off. On the third base side, just barely hits on the roof and bounds back down into the stands.
It looks like that might be a Spartan student over there.
Spartan student got it. Here's a foul ball coming back at our friend Adam Jackson in the booth next to us.
I see they also work with their windows open, huh?
Of course.
Yeah, only way to go. I learned that from the true professional, Scott Moore.
Learned that from the maniac sitting to your left. Jared Dickey winds up walking. Good at bat as he worked that walk.
Well, the Spartans and the Lugnuts joined forces tonight to support the Southside Community Kitchen. They held a food drive to support the efforts of the Southside Community Kitchen. Interestingly enough, a kitchen that last year served over 15,000 meals to Lansing's food insecure population. So a great joint effort on the part of the Lugnuts and the part of the Spartans, and our thanks to everyone who brought canned foods and brought along some cash to donate tonight.
Southside Community Kitchen, I know you are very, very involved in it. I know that Coach Boss's mom, Joanne, was very involved with it. I've got more friends that I know who volunteered their time there as well. Tony and Karen Patrick, very good friends, and they're very active with it. There is such a need, and unfortunately, there is such a need.
But a wonderful organization that provides such a sense of community. It really is an honor to be a part of the volunteer corps there.
Pitch over the plate, but low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Nate Nankill. He's the right fielder for the Lugnuts. And the pitch bounces just wide to fill up the count again. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he's going to get a chance to go too.
Jared Dickey walked on a full count pitch before him. Here comes a payoff pitch. Dickey on the way, and the pitch is fouled back to the screen.
Scott, have you ever noticed when we talk, I always kind of get around to food sooner or later?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I do as well. So it's not uncommon for me to hear or think about food.
That's hot dogs. They're just wafting their way up here. Oh, man, he's working himself a little bit of trouble here.
A second consecutive full count walk.
And that's it.
And, yep, that is it for Reisinger and for the Spartan fielders here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We are through 4, headed to 5 in a 7-inning exhibition. Michigan State leading the Lugnuts 1-0 on the Spartan Media Network.
Graduation season is here, and there's no better place to celebrate than One North Kitchen and Bar. Just minutes from campus, we're serving up delicious food, craft cocktails, and memories that last a lifetime. We've got the perfect table waiting for you and your grad. But don't wait. Reservations are filling fast. Email kmoore@onenorthdining.com or call 517-900-4MSU to book your spot today. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great.
Our lives are a collection of experiences, from fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Top of the 5th inning in downtown Lansing, as the grounds crew here for the Lugnuts are finishing up, dragging the infield, getting everything smoothed out for the next few innings. It'll be Will Shannon leading the way for Michigan State, or it's supposed to be Will Shannon leading the way. But I see a pinch hitter out there for the DH. Christian Williams is going to make his way to the plate.
Familiar name.
Senior out of Carmel, Indiana. Spartan Baseball brought to you in part by ASAP Printing. Looking for a banner, poster, or graphic for your delivery vehicle? ASAP Printing has now expanded to offer signage of all kinds. First pitch to Williams. Strike on the outer third. Visit asapprinting.net or one of the two locations, Jolly Road in Okemos or Keystone Avenue near South Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Hot shot right back to the pitcher off his legs. And gathering it up and tossing over to first is Kyle Robinson. And there's one away.
Christian hit a shot right back up the box and
comebacker.
He got his leg on it and threw him out of first base. Hey, a little bit of history on the Crosstown Showdown. Of course, they're out checking on the pitcher to make sure he's okay. He looks to be fine, but got to check him. It's early in the season.
Oh, yeah.
This is the 17th annual. And this is the fourth year in a row that the Showdown has been played since it was kind of put on a little bit of a shutdown at COVID time. So this is the fourth one since 2022. 13 of the 17 Showdowns have been played in the spring. The other four, there were, if you might remember, Scott, were fall matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So 17 years of tradition, and certainly we are grateful to the Lugnuts for this opportunity to come downtown and play at the beautiful Jackson Field.
Randy Seymour at the plate now with a 1-1 count. He flew out to center field his first time up. Second pitch fouled off towards the Spartan dugout on the third base side. Lugnuts have always been a first base side team. Their clubhouse is on the first base side. And so the Spartans very comfortable in the third base dugout.
Yes, indeed.
Pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning. 7-inning exhibition here. Pitch misses low, and that takes the count to full.
This game's really moving along.
Kyle Robinson struggling a little bit. He was supposed to go 2 innings. And there is a dropped third strike. They'll throw down to first to complete the putout, and there's 2 away.
Well, this
is there have been a few drop third strikes, and that could be the temperatures as well. These guys have been south.
Yeah. And of course, the other thing, these guys are going to get to know each other a whole lot better as the season progresses. But right now, this is kind of their first Northern game. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, it's the last night of spring training, but a little cooler than where they're accustomed to playing ball.
First pitch was in for a strike on Parker Pico. Actually, this is not Parker Pico, as Jake Boss is starting to use some of his bench players. Isaac Sturgis at the plate. We saw him over the weekend. And it'll be interesting because with the unique rules here, he could very easily put Pico back in defensively. And there is a swing and a miss. And Sturgis goes down on strikes. That's a 1-2-3 inning for the Lugnuts in the field. The Q collar is proven brain protection for athletes. To learn more about the Q collar, visit Q30.com. It's time to collar up, and it's time for a break. Michigan State going into the field for the bottom of the 5th inning. We're back with more after this on the Spartan Media Network.
Just like your favorite sports team, you need a solid defense to protect your home and business. Whether you're tackling unexpected accidents, fouls, or fumbles, the Heartland Insurance Agency and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance are on your team. Visit the Heartland Insurance Agency today at heartlandinsurance.com. That's HARTLAND insurance.com.
From the biggest of big games To the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Bottom of the fifth inning in downtown Lansing. Reisinger back on the hill for his second inning of work. He is scheduled to go just 2 innings. And coming to the plate for the Lugnuts, it's Clark Elliott, followed by T.J. Schofield Sam and C.J. Rodriguez. Parker Pico's night is done. Isaac Sturgis stays in the game, playing in right field. First pitch swung on and fouled off into the catcher's mitt. 0-1 the count. Let's take a look at some out-of-town action brought to you by the Capital Region International Airport. Told you earlier that Washington trounced St. John's 22-14. Final score in Lincoln, Creighton over Nebraska, 9-5. Final in College Park, UMBC, Maryland, Baltimore County knocks off Maryland 5-2. Michigan missed an extra point, and Eastern got a safety. 13-2, the Wolverines over the Eagles. Bottom of the seventh, Northern Illinois up 2-0 on Purdue. Here's a high fly ball towards the gap in left center field. It'll be the left fielder taking that one for the Spartans. Jake Dresselhaus making the catch, and there's one away. Other scores in the Big Ten. Penn State leads Bucknell 8-3, bottom of the fourth inning in Happy Valley. Louisville up 1-0 on Indiana, bottom of the fourth. Fly ball into right field. Sturgis will make the catch. 2 up, 2 down, and C.J. Rodriguez will come to the plate. West Virginia and Ohio State knotted up at 2 apiece, top of the fourth. Northwestern up 1-0 on Illinois Chicago, top of the fourth. Bottom of the third, Rutgers holding a 5-3 lead over Hofstra. Strike at the knees. Iowa and Bradley just underway, as is Illinois State at Illinois. And out on the left coast, Pepperdine will play UCLA, and San Diego State will play at Southern Cal. 0-2 count now on C.J. Rodriguez.
82-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
That one misses low and outside. Went 5-hole on the catcher all the way back to the wall. No damage, though, because there's no base runners.
You know, these Spartan fans here tonight don't care who's pitching. They're Spartans in the field, and they're cheering every out right now, even though the Lugnuts are pitching and catching.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And C.J. Rodriguez goes down on strikes. That will end the bottom of the fifth. Top of the sixth coming up. Still a 1-0 lead for the Spartans here in the Crosstown Showdown. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Touchdown! From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
I love getting out and trying new things. But my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Welcome back to Jackson Field. The Lugnuts in the field now for the top of the 6th inning. Michigan State hanging on to a 1-0 lead that they got in the top of the 1st inning. Raise hope and foster dreams by starting your journey to becoming a foster parent today. Visit michigan.gov/hope for a home to learn more on how you can support children of all ages in your community. And finish up some scores out of the Mid-American Conference, just dealing with teams from the state of Michigan here. Central Michigan knocked off Purdue-Fort Wayne 16-3 down in Fort Wayne today. We told you that Michigan beat Eastern Michigan 13-2. Western Michigan playing at Notre Dame, bottom of the 6th. The Broncos up 3-1. And so there's your Mid-American scoreboard. Doubleheader action at Sekia Stadium on campus, as this one is lofted high behind second base. The second baseman going back to make the catch. And there's one away here in the top of the 6th. That was Jake Dresselhouse's position, but that might have been Nick Williams at the plate. It's a short game, and there's so much to do.
I think we've got another pinch hitter right here, don't we?
We do. Dayton Murphy is batting in place of Jacob Anderson.
Well, I'll tell you what, my scoreboard is quickly becoming a mess.
You and me both. It was a neat idea, but the boxes just aren't big enough for me. There's a 3-hopper to shortstop off the bat of Murphy. The throw across the infield in time, and that's 2 away. 6-3, the put out. Back to the top of the order. JT Sokolov's position, but this will be Kamari Thomas, freshman outfielder from Chicago, Illinois, at the plate.
We witnessed Kamari's first collegiate hit a week ago against Oakland University.
That's right. Left-handed hitter with a right-hander on the hill. And fastball at the knees, 96 miles an hour for the strike. Softball action, doubleheader at Sekia Stadium. Michigan State wins in the opener 2-1. And now the nightcap is in the bottom of the 3rd, and Michigan State is flexing its muscles a little bit. 6 runs in the first, 5 in the second. They lead it 11-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that finishes up all of our out-of-town scoreboard. Ground ball by Thomas to third base. The pick, the long throw, got him. And that'll do it for the top of the 6th inning as the Spartans go down in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th now. Spartans still leading it 1-0. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Skill is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Meet, greet, and compete in Michigan's capital city. The Lansing Sports Commission is dedicated to helping you host your next athletic tournament or event in Greater Lansing. Our free services include everything from event development and tournament planning to promotions and recruiting volunteers. No matter the sport, the LSC can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find details at lansingsports.org.
Welcome back as we're celebrating a birthday boy down on the field. They're singing happy birthday to him. here at Jackson Field. That's a great way to celebrate your birthday.
Yeah, but he looked less than excited. Kind of that junior high look on his face. It was kind of like, what are you doing? What are you doing that for me, Mom and Dad? What do you put me out here for?
What did you do this to me? Why? Let's take a look at the situation now. A new pitcher on the hill for the Lugnuts, pitching against the Lugnuts. This is Jake Pfennigs, Jake Pfennigs from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Played collegiately at Oregon State, and that is a very good baseball program.
It is indeed, and if I remember correctly, aren't the last 4 pitchers just throwing 1 inning apiece?
Yeah. This is 1 inning and a certain number of pitches, so we don't know whether the game will end or not.
That's either 1 inning or 25 pitches.
The game's going to end at some point.
Yeah, 1 inning or 25 pitches. I don't think we're going to see a big rally.
I think a lot of these guys in the black Lugnut uniforms would just as soon get back into their heated clubhouse.
Yeah.
After all that time in the Southland. First pitch misses low. For the Lugnuts, it's Valenzuela, Green, and White. Same group that started the 3rd inning. And a Spartan double play got him out of that inning. So only those 3 came to the plate. 2-0 count. Valenzuela, by the way, walked in that 3rd inning. And he's ahead in the count 3-0 now. Pfennigs on the hill, kicks and fires. And there's a strike at the knees.
Well, this Spartan Ball Club with 17 wins is getting some national attention right now. 5th week in a row, they've received votes for the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association poll. Not ranked, but they're getting votes along with Iowa, Penn State, and Purdue. UCLA and Oregon are the 2 Big Ten teams that check in at number 10 and number 15, respectively. So a couple of
full count pitch hit high and deep into the right center field gap. Camry Thomas, who came in to bat for JT Sokolov, stays in the game and makes the catch for the first out.
That's about the hardest hit ball we've seen tonight, other than perhaps the hit that
Rodney Green in the first inning.
Yeah, true. And Sammy Bush had a pretty good hit.
Yep. So we're back to the top of the order here. This is not Rodney Green, however. This is Johnny Butler, 14th round draft pick in 2021. Went to North Carolina State and was a Lugnut last year. High pop into short left center field. Camry Thomas shows that he's got some range, makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Camry getting a little bit of work out there.
It's good to see the younger guys getting some work here.
Yeah, it is.
Because this is the future of the team, and that's what an exhibition game is all about.
And to give them a chance to play in the minor league ballpark. I mean, that's something the Spartans do a great deal, going down to Greenville, South Carolina. But not a lot of college teams get as much exposure in terms of professional baseball fields as the Spartans do.
First pitch strike to Tommy White, and he's going to knock this one into the outfield. Between the shortstop and the bag at second.
That is just the 5th hit of the game.
And the 3rd for the Lugnuts.
Yeah, the Spartans have been held to 1 hit. That was a Sammy Bush single way back early in the game.
Strike called. This is no longer Kuroda Grauer. Casey Yamauchi. Oh, deep in the hole at shortstop. Knocked down by Randy Seymour. A little trouble transferring it from the glove to the throwing hand. No real damage. He had no right throwing that in the first place because it had taken so long to get that deep in the hole.
Yeah, did a nice job knocking the ball down and holding the runner at second base. So 2 on, 2 out here for the Lugnuts. And we are in the bottom of the 6th inning.
They will give him a base hit on that one. So back-to-back hits here. And it's Jared Dickey's position. It is Jared Dickey who will come to the plate here. And the first pitch over the plate, but low. So now the Lugnuts starting to get some of their reserve players into the game. And as Jim mentioned, there aren't that many reserve players on a minor league baseball roster. It's mostly pitchers.
Yeah. Well, now you're wondering a little bit here. You know, the Spartans are ahead 1-0, and then all of a sudden the Lugnuts are kicking up their heels here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, and, you know, it could be that it could be as easy as the fact that there's a different pitcher out there.
Could indeed be. Hey, I'm looking out at the outfield lofts, and we got a few fans out there in the out of the patios, out on their decks, wrapped up in blankets, watching a little Spartan baseball.
Fastball misses low and inside. 3-1 the count now. There's 2 down, but 2 on.
So if he walks this guy, do we end the inning?
Depends on the pitch count, Jim.
It's got to be getting up there.
It's got to be. The Spartans hope he is. There's a strike called on the outer third. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. And the Spartans with a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the 6th, the pitch swung on, nubbed out into the infield. The catcher makes the play, throws to Sam Bush at first for the final out of the inning. Holy cow.
He's getting it from his dugout.
The putout goes 2-3 for the final out of the inning. Through 6, going into the top of the 7th. Last chance around for each team. We'll take a break and come back with that 7th inning after this on the Spartan Media Network.
Good helps keep people safe. Good keeps watch. Good cares for people, feeds people, and keeps things running. We're MDOC, and Good works here. Come join us. We offer great pay and benefits, paid training, and we have immediate openings for corrections officers, healthcare and mental health professionals, food service staff, and more. Go to michigan.gov/MDOC jobs to learn more.
Our lives are a collection of experiences, from fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Top of the 7th, which means it's the top of the last inning in this exhibition outing. Michigan State leading the Lugnuts 1-0. It was a Lugnut that scored the lone run of the game, but he was driven in. It's an unearned run. He was driven in on an error. I believe that is an unearned run. We'll double check on that.
I'd say that was a bang play to end the 6th inning.
Sure was.
Sam Bush with a nice stretch and a real good play by the Lugnut catcher, who popped out from behind the plate, made the throw with one motion after he scooped it, and kind of put an end to that Lugnut rally. You kind of wonder if he might not be released for doing that. His dugout was all over him when he came back.
And at the plate for the Lugnuts now is Nick Schwartz, the third catcher on the roster. Cole Kahn started the game, scored that run back in the first. So now all three Lugnut catchers have had a chance to get into the game. On the mound is Garrett Irvin, a left-hander out of Corona, California, who was 2022 All Pac-12 honorable mention. And he has his first strikeout of the day.
He wasn't convinced that that was a strike. But it was, because the umpire said it was.
The umpire says it's a strike, so it's a strike, right?
Indeed. Just got a call from my son, Jimmy, down in St. Louis. He is at the St. Louis Blues Red Wings game tonight.
Aha. Got a pinch hitter for Ryan McKay. Swing and a miss for Adam Broski, 6'3", 180-pound sophomore from Harrison Township. Catcher by trade. Pitch fouled off at the plate. 0-2 the count. At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to them. In fact, it's their mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider just like I did. 0-2 the count. And the pitch misses low and away. Good eye by Broski. Here's the 1-2 offering. Checks his swing, did not get it checked in time. They got the pitch up in his eyes, and Broski wound up going around despite his best intentions. And now Noah Bright is going to pinch hit for Caleb Berry. First pitch is a strike. A swing and a miss at the plate now. As I mentioned, Noah Bright.
Well, the pitchers have dominated tonight, Scott. 17 strikeouts against just 6 hits.
Swinging and fouling one back into the stands. That'll reach the concourse. That might have been close to a vendor.
Should I go down and check if the hot dogs are okay?
It might be that the Italian sausage stand.
I'll go down and check.
It might not be open anymore, though. Ooh. Swing and a miss, and that is a 1-2-3 inning with 3 strikeouts in a row for Garrett Irvin. Bottom of the 7th, last chance for the Lugnuts. We'll be back with that after this on the Spartan Media Network.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, We're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit Rocket.com. Rocket. Own the dream.
Welcome back. A staple at ballparks across the United States, the Dizzy Bat Race. And I think we had Dizzy Bat on Dizzy Bat crime going on down there.
I'm so easily entertained. What a hoot. What a hoot.
Did I see it right? Did the one guy just push the other guy down?
Well, I didn't think he needed much help. Yeah, he was down. They made him do about 15 complete circles.
Yeah. Coming to the plate here is Nate Nankill. He will not be a pinch hitter, and Ryan McKay is still in the game at second base. Spartan Baseball brought to you in part by Rocket. Own the dream.
Well, that lone run up on the scoreboard in the first half of the first inning has stood up through 7 as we're in the bottom of the 7th. Spartans leading 1-0.
First pitch missed. The second one is a strike. It seems odd to see all of the Sunday uniforms, the cream with the green Michigan State in block letters on the front, behind a pitcher wearing a Lugnut uniform, and a catcher wearing a Lugnut uniform,
indeed.
and a batter wearing a Lugnut uniform. Strike called, but them's the rules we got tonight.
18 strikeouts tonight, 12 by the Spartans, 6 by the Lugnuts,
so to speak. The fly ball to center field. Comrie Thomas gets underneath and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Spartan fans getting excited here.
I'll tell you what, the future is bright out there with Comrie Thomas. He tracks that ball very, very well. That's his third put out in the last 2 innings. Got to be excited.
This
the
is
freshman.
The position for Clark Elliott, but I don't believe this is Clark. No, it is Clark Elliott. He'll swing at the first pitch and knock it on the ground into left field. So the Lugnuts threatening here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
That is the Lugnuts' 5th hit of the ball game. Actually, their 6th if you count the one that they contributed to the Spartans.
Yeah.
Spartans had 1 hit, that being Sam Bush single back in the first inning.
Pitch in the dirt, blocked. Behind the plate, nowhere for the runner at first to go. Elliott is the runner at first, and this is not TJ Schofield Sam, who started the game at first base. This is Darlin Montero out of Azua in the Dominican Republic. Pitch misses low and away. 3-0 the count now. He was signed as an international free agent in 2018 and was with the Stockton Ports last year. And he will take a 4-pitch walk. So now runners at first and second and 1 away. And this is C.J. Rodriguez at the plate. Starting catcher for the Lugnuts. And the first pitch, low and outside. Nice stop by the Lugnut Spartan catcher.
Lugnuts have walked 6 tonight.
We think it's Schwartz behind the plate, but we're not sure. Pitch high and tight. 2-0 the count. And the conspiracy theorist in me thinks that the fix is on now. As the Lugnuts have 2 on and 1 away in a 1-run game.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, Scott. My wife, Kim, and mother-in-law, Bonnie, who are listening in tonight, just sent me the same text message. They said, "What's up?"
Again, it's a new pitcher, so you never know.
There you go.
There's a strike. 3-1 the count now on Rodriguez.
You want to bet they won't stop this inning early?
I don't think so. Here's a 3-1, and that's a strike at the belt. Full count now.
Well, he may be throwing against his own teammates, but he wants to produce tonight. He would like to show himself getting out of this tough inning. With 2 on and nobody out.
Especially after a single and a walk. Here's the payoff pitch.
Yes.
Late swing and a miss. Nice strikeout.
Spartan fans going wild.
Corey Avant is the pitcher now. Native of Burlington, North Carolina. Played his college ball at Wingate University.
Right now, he's my favorite Lugnut.
2 down, 2 on, and the number 9 hitter at the plate, Sahib Valenzuela, excuse me. He is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center field and a walk. And right now he's got a 2-ball count.
You know, Wingate sounds familiar. I'm wondering if the Spartans might have played them in the past years during some of their spring travels down to the Carolinas.
Yep, it's quite possible. 2-0 pitch, good for a strike on the outer third. 2 down, 2 on. And the Spartans dependent on a Lugnut pitcher to hang on to a 1-0 lead. Oh, fastball for a strike.
Well, he's working that outside corner really nice on the left-handed hitter.
95 miles an hour on that one.
Well, if he can get a strike here, you're going to see a Spartan crowd kind of erupt.
Yes! He does. Swing and a miss. And the Spartans will take the trophy. Victory for MSU. Kind of. 1-0 is our score. All of the Spartan pitchers were down in their bullpen, jumping around, and they were having some fun. The Spartans get the win here this evening. Spartan fans, if you live, work, or go to school in the state of Michigan, you can join MSU Federal Credit Union. Save more and carry the only colors in your wallet with MSU FCU. Open your account today at msufcu.org. MSU Federal Credit Union is the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. We'll take a break and come back with our Farm Bureau Insurance postgame show. Victory for MSU, 1-0 over the Lugnuts on the Spartan Media Network.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Is joint pain slowing you down? Imagine waking up and moving through your day pain-free. The orthopedic and sports medicine specialists at McLaren are experts in the latest surgical and non-surgical advances to relieve joint pain and restore movement so you can rediscover the activities you love. We'll help you get back to what moves you. McLaren, the official orthopedic and sports medicine partner of Michigan State Athletics.
Welcome back to Jackson Field, and welcome to our Farm Bureau Insurance Spartan postgame show, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Michigan's insurance company. 1-0 win for Michigan State here in the Crosstown Showdown tonight. We're connected to you today through our Martin Commercial Properties Spartan Network studios in East Lansing. Martin Commercial Properties, your vision is their mission. Scott Moore along with Jim Cotter, and our producer in said Martin Commercial Properties Spartan Network studios is Tim Daniel tonight. Not a whole lot to do on the game scoring recap on this one. The lone run came in the first inning with one out. Cole Kahn, the catcher, the Lugnut catcher who was playing for the Spartans tonight, doubled and then went to third on a ground out by Ryan McKay and scored when Caleb Berry popped one into the outfield that was misplayed by the center fielder. That was that short fly ball that center fielder Rodney Green misjudged. Went off of his mitt, and in the score came Cole Kahn, 1-0 unearned run. And that was all the scoring tonight. The pitchers really were the story of the game, Jim.
Yeah, they were. And I'll tell you what, out of all the outs, 20 strikeouts. The Spartans struck out 12 times. The Lugnuts struck out 8 times. So the Lugnut pitchers really dominated tonight, did a great job. But you know what? The Spartans played good defense. They had the one error, but it didn't hurt them because that's the one that Seymour skipped the ball over to Sam Bush at first. But Sam very alertly picked the throw up and threw to second base to catch the base runner that was caught off guard with the quick rebound. And I think Jay's got to feel good about this. It's been a while since we've beaten the Lugnuts, and yet the Lugnuts have got to feel very, very good about their pitching.
Oh, yeah.
And this could be a good ball club. They've got some young talent that's going to play well. Spartans, of course, now move on to Bloomington, Indiana, take on a Hoosier team, which is a solid ball club, played one of the West Coast teams last week. Big weekend for the Spartans as they try to move up the standings just a little bit in terms of the big leagues and the standings in the Big Ten.
Well, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on our Farm Bureau Insurance post-game show. Quickly around the Big Ten, Washington knocked off St. John's in Queens, 22-14 the final score.
Can I ask you about that one, Scott? Is Washington perhaps out at Rutgers this week? Well, that's an interesting matchup.
Could be that they're playing either at Rutgers or possibly at Maryland.
Yeah.
So Washington obviously made an early trip out.